All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into conversation this morning, and today we're going to be talking about World Heart Day. It takes place internationally on the 29th of September, right, which is Sunday. And it's very important for us to understand what the heart is, what it does, okay? It's easy to take it for granted. And then I'm going to ask my guest, maybe a bit on the lighter side, what about those with broken hearts? I'm sure you want to know, right? Dr. Jacqueline Thompson has joined me in the studio. She's a family physician and the regional focal person for non-communicable diseases for Greater Accra. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
All right. So talk to us about the importance of a day like this. Why we set aside a day to focus on the heart?
Okay. So thank you very much for the opportunity. And World Heart Day is celebrated worldwide on the 29th of September every year, like you mentioned earlier, because most of the mortalities that we are experiencing worldwide is because of cardiovascular disease. And cardiovascular disease has got to do with diseases of the heart and the blood vessels.
Okay.
And a greater chunk of people worldwide, as at 2019, data states that about 17.9 million people who died because of cardiovascular diseases. And we also realize that in our part of the world, where Ghana is part of low to middle income countries, we are seeing an increase in the rise of cardiovascular diseases. So on this day, we make it a point to increase awareness about these diseases and then try to educate people about how to prevent them, and even if you have been diagnosed with any of these diseases, how to go about to manage it properly.
First of all, what are some of the diseases that affect the heart? And then why is there an increase? Why are we seeing an increase?
Okay, so some of the diseases that affect the heart, we can have what in layman's parlance we call heart attack. Okay, so that's coronary artery disease, where there's disease because there's a buildup of plaque within the blood vessels, and then there's a blood clot. And then we also have diseases that affect the peripheral vessels as well, so the vessels in the legs. And then strokes also come under cardiovascular diseases. Okay, so hypertension also comes under cardiovascular disease. And we are seeing an increase in these diseases mostly because of a change in our lifestyle. And lifestyle has got to do with a change in our diet. So in our part of the world, we have westernized our diet, and we are eating more of the things that we are not supposed to eat. And then also it's got to do with physical inactivity. Okay, so apart from that, there are other risk factors like increase in cholesterol levels, and then also the unhealthy diet comprises of eating sugary foods, foods that are high in fats that we are not supposed to eat, etc., etc.
So are these conditions, are any of them reversible if you find yourself in that situation where, let's say, for example, high blood pressure is already come? You've been on maybe medications for 6 months, for a year. Is it possible by the same lifestyle change, this time you're changing in the reverse, is it possible to reverse the condition?
Yes, so it is possible to reverse, okay, but it is difficult.
Okay.
Yes, so if you want to reverse it, you have to take on stringent measures and be able to follow them to the letter, so that you will be able to accomplish the reversal or remission that we are talking about. So we never say never. And so, yes, it is possible. So if you are able to change your diet and then follow what your dietitian and your doctors tell you, and then you also become more physically active, because it's been found out that now any activity is better than inactivity. So we move from the talking about you need to do about 10 minutes of exercise a day to be able to gain. Now, if you even doing 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, it is better.
It's better than inactivity.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Now talk to us about corporate people, okay, and some of the things they can do practically in their normal life to improve their heart condition?
Okay, so I mean, I've had to answer this question a few times, and especially for you in the media, I was told some time ago you have to come to work early in the morning. So it's got to do with not just physical activity and then changing your diet to eat healthier, but also getting more sleep. Okay. Yes. So it's required that you sleep about 7 to 8 hours every day. Okay, so if you are able to get this amount of sleep, because we've seen, and even some patients know that when they don't have enough sleep, it increases their blood pressure. Okay, and then also when you get...
So sleep is critical.
Yes.
I think that I want you to maybe help us to understand a little bit more why it's so important, because I feel as though, especially when we are younger, the mindset is that it's like, if I be hard guy, sleep, you know, that kind of attitude. It's almost like, oh, I only slept 4 hours last night. You know, it's like, almost like a badge of honor in a way. It's like a bragging right that, you know, you're able to go through your day without sleeping a lot and all of that. It sounds dangerous from what you're saying to have to go down that path.
Yes. So sleep is very important, because during the time that you are sleeping, the body is repairing itself. Okay, so it's got to do with every organ in the body has to go through that process of sleeping, where the body gets rid of certain waste materials. Your brain is able to refresh itself. Your liver, your kidneys, your heart are all undergoing rejuvenation so that you'll be able to go through the following day. So if you're not able to do that, I was having a conversation with someone, and the person was telling me that they were so tired that at a point when they were going through their day, they just lost consciousness. So it's something that was cumulative, and then at a point, the body just decides to give up. So the myth that I'm a hard guy, I should be able to do without sleep is very wrong.
Wow. All right, so now let's look at a couple of maybe other conditions. I know that sometimes people, apart from high blood pressure, there's things that weaken your heart, you have enlargement of heart, those kinds of things. Are they also lifestyle diseases? Are they also things that, you know, you can do something about?
Okay, so with these conditions, if your heart gets enlarged, it's either because there's a genetic problem or it's an acquired thing. And hypertension is one common thing that could cause enlargement of the heart. And when it happens like that, it's not reversible. Yes. So prevention is what we are preaching now. So don't get to that point where you can't reverse whatever has happened structurally. Yes.
Okay. So this year's World Heart Day, what are we doing? How are we commemorating it? How are we celebrating it?
Okay. So the theme for this year is Use Heart for Action. Okay. So today there's a launch, of the theme, and then also there's going to be health walks and then health screenings nationwide. So those are the few things that are going to be done to commemorate the day. Yes.
What would you say to our viewers who are watching now as to things they can do on their own to maybe treat their heart with a bit more care, like pamper their heart today?
Yes. Give your heart some love.
Yeah. Give your heart some love.
Yes. Yeah. So with what we've talked about, we want people to avoid the risk factors. So the risk factors that I'd want to mention are diabetes.
Yes, go ahead.
So if you have diabetes, you need to have your sugar well controlled. And if you don't have diabetes, don't get yourself to the point where you have diabetes. Eat healthy food, which has got to do with eating more whole foods, less processed foods, less sugary foods, less fewer foods with saturated fats, like the baked goods that we usually would munch on because it's a quick fix. And then also be able to get involved more in physical activity, exercise, do deliberate exercise. Brisk walking is a simple thing that we all can do. sit less, stand more, because that's how the body has been.
Sit less, stand more.
Yes, sit less, stand more, and also move more. So usually, like the question you asked me earlier on about what corporate people should do. Usually corporate people would be sitting in meetings, sitting at the desk for hours, having meetings, etc., etc. So I usually would advise that whilst you're seated, keep moving, because whilst you're moving, your muscles will burn some of the energy that you have taken in as food. So move your legs whilst you're sitting down, move your arms, get up, stand up. Those are some things that I practically do. So I move more now, because that's what I'm telling people to do. And once I'm practicing that, I can preach the message better. So sit less, stand more, and then move more. And then eat better, get good sleep as well.
Wonderful. All right. I mean, I love it. I think you've done us a lot of good by helping our viewers and myself. I think it's important. The movement is critical, and then the sleep aspect also.
Yes.
I think it's very critical.
Yes.
Yeah, we gloss over that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for coming through.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
So we've been speaking with Dr. Jacqueline Thompson. She is a family physician and the regional focal person for NCDs for Greater Accra, Ghana Health Service. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking Ghana Digital and Innovation Week shortly.